So some people ask me why it's beneficial that yoga has both the spiritual element, physical element, and mental element. And so because a lot of the times, if you can go to the gym, or you can play football, or you can drive an F1 car, or you can lift weights. And the thing is that you're probably going to do a lot of good for your physical body. You're going to get really in shape, and you're going to probably get some nice dopamine hits after that. But the thing is that what's the deeper meaning of that physical exercise that you're doing? Because there's a Hermetic principle which is called the law of correspondence, which basically states that as above, so below, and as within, so without. So the whole idea of why yoga is so powerful is that actually it works on you at the same time from the inside and the outside. And it actually works to connect your inner self, your spiritual self, your soul with your body. And actually the more advanced you get in yoga, the better you become as a soul, as actually inhabiting your body. And you're kind of you're really harmonizing your inner world with your outer world. And the thing is that if you only work on your outer world and you forget your spiritual world, your inner world, you could be really in shape, you could be really ripped, you could have really huge muscles, but if inside you feel really insecure and you feel weak and you have a lot of trauma that you haven't processed, getting your physical body in shape is not gonna help you get over those inner problems that you have. So the really cool thing about yoga as a system is that it takes that into account. So at the same time, when you're doing your physical postures, you're actually at the same time you're working on your inner self, and the postures are actually they're metaphorical for what's going to happen in your inner world. So the more advanced you become in yoga, the more in tune with yourself you become, and the more you connect your inner self and your physical self, you become more of who you are. And you actually, through the process of doing yoga, you actually really find out who you are. And the more you keep doing it, the more you realize that we're actually spiritual beings having a human experience, that this body that we have is actually not who we truly are, but it's actually a vessel for who we truly are. And the cool thing about the really physical styles of yoga, so for example, I really love Bikram yoga, and which is it actually burns, when you look at it from a physical point of view, it burns like 900 calories in 90 minutes, I think, for most people. And when you think about that, it kind of sounds like a really cool physical workout. But the really cool thing about it is that at the same time, when you're doing some really tough postures, you're working on your mind at the same time. So you're actually training on the yoga mat when you're overcoming your physical limitations on the yoga mat. At the same time, if you remember what I talked about with the law of correspondence, as within, so without, if you prove to yourself that you can do these things on a physical level, it comes back to your inner self. And the more in shape you become with yoga, the more in shape you become spiritually. So in a way, it's also a kind of spiritual fitness. And when you detoxify your body and your mind at the same time, you also detoxify your soul, and you get rid of those, old patterns. You discover your old patterns that you have, and you understand them, and then you work through them, and through the repetitive yoga practice, you can actually replace those new patterns that don't benefit you with new patterns that actually benefit you. And I think there's a thing that when you do yoga a lot and you really get into touch with your soul and you understand that you're part of something greater, it's it really actually makes your physical human experience a lot more peaceful and a lot more meaningful. So with that in mind, with those points, I wish you a great evening, and I hope you're gonna tune back into the channel. There's gonna be a lot more cool content coming up, probably from Barcelona, where I am right now. And so yeah, have a great night and see you next time.